gather round, it's story time. Comics Dad's got the latest on the line. From panels to pixels, we'll explore the world of comics and so much more. Welcome to Talkin Shop, where we never stop discussing heroes, villains, every plot twist we've got. From ink to screen and all in between, with Comics Dad and friends, it's the scene. We'll dive into pop culture, what's hot, what's not, entertainment, buzz, the latest plot, content creation, how we make it pop. Sit back, relax, let's talk shop. Welcome to Talkin Shop, where we never stop discussing heroes, villains, every plot twist we've got. From ink to screen and all in between, with Comics Dad and friends, it's the scene. Whether it's manga, movies, or memes, we've got the insights, the laughs, and the schemes. So join the chat, let's elevate the conversation, don't hesitate. From classics to new, from indie to mainstream, we'll cover it all like a superhero's dream. Maybe we'll stray talk of other things, but comic love is what gives us wings. Welcome to Talkin Shop, where we never stop discussing heroes, villains, every plot twist we've got. From ink to screen and all in between, with Comics Dad and friends, it's the scene.
Hey everybody, Comics Dad here, and welcome back for another edition of Talkin Shop. Thank you everybody so much for hanging out. I do apologize for the delay, but we're here now. We're here. We're live. It's all good. I appreciate everybody hanging around and waiting for us to get started. Tonight we have a very special guest on Talkin Shop here. But before I introduce our guest, let's first and foremost get to the chat and say hello to everybody there, because without you guys, there would be no channel and there would be no show. So first, Karen M hopped in quite a while ago, I think like 2 hours ago, said, ooh, this is going to be fun. Count me in. I'll be back when it's time, if at all possible. If not, I'll catch the replay. So hail to Karen M, and I believe she's here now too. John Ambler's here in the chat. John Ambler, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. Who else we got? We got Panda Simone says, hail Comics Dad and Nagirdnal. Panda Simone, good to see you as always. Error of Fate, our buddy Error of Fate says, I will probably be late. All good, Error. We were late today too. No worries. And then let's scroll on through. There was a good one here. Where is it? I saw somebody with a pretty good. Oh, Shauna's here. Hey, Shauna, how are you? Good to see you. Says hello, Comics Dad and Nagirdnal. Carrie goes 10 minutes late. Is this Friday Night Tights? No. Friday Night Tights is even more respectable than this show. And then let's see. Carrie goes, I blame Nagirdnal. No, not Nagirdnal. And then Deborah Perkins is here, says, hey, my friends and Comics Dad. Hey, Deborah Perkins, good to see you, lady. So now that I've gotten to say hi to everybody there, for anybody who's new here to the channel or anybody who hasn't done so already, please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're here on YouTube, or if you're watching over on Rumble, please follow the channel. Also share, turn on notifications, repost, all that stuff. Had great growth here on YouTube and on Rumble since I started the channel here on YouTube back in December, and since I started the channel on Rumble, in April, I think. Had great growth here, but we're looking to continue to grow, and now we've hit our goal of 300 on YouTube. Our next goal is 400, so be sure to share the channel with people if you like what we're doing here. And same thing on Rumble as well. But without further ado, let's get to... Oh, Jose Taco says, hail Jose Taco. But let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest tonight, he is a very hardworking gaming streamer, content creator. He is a regular everyday guy, a gamer like me and many of you out there. He is also a part of the GCA And on top of that, he is mod extraordinaire, modding for like 25,000 different channels across the YouTube sphere. And that's not an exaggeration. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you our buddy Nagirdnal. Where is. There it is.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
Get on with it. Nagirdnal, what's going on, buddy?
Oh, not much. Just sitting here in like 90-degree freaking heat, sweating my ass off. But I'm here and ready to have a good time.
Let's zoom in. Let's see if the camera quality is good enough. We can see those sweat beads.
No, not yet. I'm just on a laptop camera.
I appreciate you stopping by, man. But
Yeah, I appreciate the invite.
nah, of course, dude. Of course, you're one of the first people to really welcome me into all the different YouTube communities and stuff that I was bouncing around and hanging out in, man. And you and I hit it off in a couple of chats, and
Yeah.
I consider you a pal, dude. So the honor is all mine to have you on here, and also just a little bit of a thank you and a tag. I got you back for talking to the crew and to let me be a guest on all your guys' show a month ago or so.
Oh yeah.
So I appreciate
Definitely have
that
you back.
first and foremost. But now you're here, so we can have the Comics Ad and Nagirdnal show. A lot smaller, a lot more personal. But because also you don't have to be worried about doing your mod duties either. Like when I was
Don't
over on the
have to,
GCA.
but-
But hey! Just because I think you do have a wrench here doesn't mean I need you in the chat doing wrench shit. Because you
All
are.
right, if you say so.
Just the whole show, it's just gonna be me talking to you guys. You're just gonna see Nagirdnal here, just clacking away on the keyboard, doing all the mod stuff. We're not even gonna talk to him. He's just gonna be here on screen while he mods away in the chat.
That's what I do.
Fair enough. But so first and foremost, Nagirdnal, you've seen the show a couple of times before. So everybody who has seen the show in the chat too, you've seen it before as well. So before we go into anything else, the first thing I like to talk about with people is comics. So Nagirdnal, my question for you, brother, first and foremost, is what got you into comic books? Like I know I know you don't have like the biggest collection, because we were talking about you don't have the biggest collection, and you're not necessarily the most up to date on a lot of things, but you do enjoy them, and that's what this is all about. Just talking casual comic book talk. I'm not trying to have conversations with people like Gary does about what is it, issue number 372 of Batman, where he does something really obscure in one panel of the book, and Gary remembers it because he's got an encyclopedic memory. We're just here to talk and BS about fun stuff, whether it's comics or other not, but we got to talk at least a little bit of comics. So
Yeah, what got me into comics? I mean, I was never really that much into comics until the Rippaverse stuff came around. So
fair enough.
that kind of got me into comics. I was a little bit into like Spider-Man stuff before that, but not like a hardcore collector or anything. But yeah, definitely the Rippaverse brought me back in.
Well, hail to the Rippaverse, and it's actually good. That was kind of your I don't know if you want to call it jumping in point or your big focal point in terms of getting you interested or back interested in comic books, but that's great, because and I really like that was kind of what you drew you in, because I really think that indie comics is the future of comic books at this point, and Rippaverse has been proving that, as well as a lot of smaller independent creators out there as well, like what you guys had Eric Hodson on, comic book artist. You guys had him on, I think shortly before or shortly after I came on also, but he was talking about Little Mermaid, the book that he's a part of, and so like
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool. There's Michael Eden, who I had on the channel here a few weeks ago, his book, which is like indie book, which is like mythological warriors and heroes being pulled into like basically a battle royale tournament. So that's cool. It just indies are kind of killing it right now in a good
Yeah,
way.
absolutely.
And the fact that Rippaverse is just kind of leading that battle to an extent, depending upon who you talk to, because there's the Rippaverse naysayers out there, of course.
Yeah.
So regardless of whether it's Rippaverse, Comicsgate, or whatever other non-affiliated indie comic books that that people are into or follow, the point is indies are just kind of leading the way. But what is out of, I guess, what you have been reading between mostly Rippaverse and then just maybe couple of things here and there that you've been picking up as you've been kind of wetting your beak and wetting your toes in the comic book pool? What's something that you've read that kind of really that you kind of, I guess you would maybe call your favorite title or your favorite maybe your favorite thing that you've read so far in your smaller window of comic book fandom?
Well, I don't have a copy of it, but probably one of the coolest comic books I've read was I don't even know what number it was. One of the Spider-Man comic books where it's kind of like the closing of an arc, I guess, where Spider-Man he's got the clone of himself,
Oh, okay. Was it the Clone
Ben
Conspiracy
Riley.
storyline?
Yeah. But
Gotcha.
I saw this comic book at my friend's. He didn't really have a comic shop; it was more like a thrift shop. But I saw this comic book and it was so cool. It was like Peter Parker and his clone were fighting Green Goblin, and his clone Ben Riley ends up dying, and then Peter kills Green Goblin. But then you find out like just a couple panels later that Green Goblin like also killed his baby daughter. It was like really fucked up. But I was like, wow.
Oh yeah,
Like,
we're talking one day more, I think.
yeah,
Yeah,
I couldn't remember. I just wish I grabbed that comic because I went back to get it and it was gone.
yeah.
But as far as
There's
things
so
that I
many.
do own, Yaira definitely one of the best comic books I've ever read. Like
There you go.
this reading this was like it was like reading a movie. It was much more detailed and like involved than I thought it would be. And yeah, definitely excellent story. If you haven't read it yet, you definitely have to pick that one up.
Yeah, Yaira was a great read. I have that. I have most of the Rippaverse books. I think I pretty much have everything that's been printed and released so far. It took me a little while because
Yeah,
grabbing them all at once was not feasible. But just after I
yeah.
read one, I then ordered another one, and so on and so forth. But yeah, Yaira was a good one. My favorite, if we're just going to talk Rippaverse titles, I would have to say my favorite Rippaverse title so far has been Horseman. Horseman Return. Welcome to Floor Spark. It's just it had a lot of those gritty Punisher type of vibes, and
Mhm.
considering Marvel did away with Punisher in 2023, and even then up to that point, like Punisher just he was basically unrecognizable in terms of the writing when
Yeah,
they did
that's such
that.
a shame.
Yeah, I mean they're bringing him back for I think a limited run later this year, I think. But I don't know, man. I don't think it's gonna be the same. But because we haven't had those gritty, like street level justice type of characters,
Mhm.
uh, like Frank Castle, like the Punisher, uh, getting the Horseman was a great breath of fresh air, and I can't be I can't be more excited for the official Horseman #1
Right,
because I
right.
have that on order, so I'm waiting for that to come in. But then also, just outside of Rippaverse, since we're talking street level heroes and all that stuff, Mark Miller and John Romita Jr.'s Psychic Sam that they're currently funding on Kickstarter is going
Hmm.
to be really cool too. It's another one of those gritty, really street level kind of taking justice into your own hands, really kind of violent type of anti-hero type of thing. Except the dude could hear voices,
Hmm.
and
Oh wow.
the voices tell him who's going to be murdered in like the foreseeable future, and then it's up to
Wow.
him whether he wants to stop it or not. So, but yeah, it's all the stuff in the Rippaverse are different levels of quality. There hasn't been a story I haven't liked out of Rippaverse. There are
Yeah,
some
they've all
that I'm
been good
sure,
so far.
yeah, and then I'm sure there are some that people like more than others. I'm sure you have ones like you said. Yaira was it was fantastic and arguably probably your favorite. And I'm sure you have a couple that maybe aren't as high up on the scale, but there's no Rippaverse books that I've read that I've just been like, well, this is straight trash and I don't want to read it
Right.
anymore. But what Is there anything outside of Rippaverse that maybe you've been curious about that you haven't been able to get your hands on yet, or maybe something that's piqued your curiosity now that you're kind of exploring more in the comic book territory? Whether it's DC, Marvel, Image, Boom Studios, or maybe just some indie books on like Kickstarter or Indiegogo or Fund My Comic or whatever.
Yeah, really just Eric Hodson's book there, the Little Mermaid, because I met him last February in Orlando, and I picked up a copy of his Cocaine Shark.
Oh, we had
And,
that for sale there.
yeah,
Cool.
yeah, it's just a really short little comic, but it's and I didn't even realize it, but like on one of the back pages it says he's part of uh, the Little Mermaid.
Yep.
So yeah, that'll be really cool to see that fully fleshed out.
Yeah, that's I was fortunate enough Pixel Trader, the guy that kind of conceptualized Merkmaid. He sent me a PDF copy of Cocaine Shark early just so I could kind of read it and enjoy it. Yeah, it's a lot of fun
Yeah.
and yeah, Cocaine Shark from what Eric has told me when cuz he was on both Talkin Shop back in I think March or April, but then also I had him and the Merkmaid crew here at the end of last week to talk about the book because it was the end of the Kickstarter campaign, or two
Yep.
weeks
Yeah.
ago,
Yeah.
I think. But yeah, Cocaine Shark plays a role in the main Merkmaid story, and then so they already had a concept for it, and then Eric was like, "Well, this is fun, so I'm going to then just do more Cocaine Shark on my own." that's
That's
kind,
awesome.
that's how that kind of came to be. But let's see. I'm just gonna hit a couple of chats here as we make our way through. Rizkit for a biscuits here. Rizkit, what's going on, brother? Good to see
What
you,
up,
man.
Brisket?
Rizkit. Isaac is here. What's going on, Isaac? Good to see you, man. Basket City, welcome back. Brimstone's here, says lurking. I appreciate the lurkers. I love the lurkers. The lurkers are the best.
They
Uh,
are.
and then I think I just wanted to make sure I grabbed everybody else that hasn't gotten here yet. Riskit said the Ripazines are awesome too. Yeah, Ripazines are great.
I haven't read. I have. I think the first one. I might have two of them, but I don't think I've read either one.
The
I gotta get
first
on that.
Yeah, the first two Ripazines, because I got them after I had gotten most of the other books, so there wasn't really anything in them that really excited me. Because again, like the stuff that was spotlighted and highlighted in them, like Horseman was in the second one, I think, and in the first one was I think some stuff about Yaira, if I'm remembering correctly, but or Bloodruth or something. So like they were good. It's just we got kind of preview stories of stuff that I had already bought though. So Ripazine 3 was the first Ripazine that I had bought that actually like when it came out on time. And as everybody knows, that featured Caro Brown's Dirty Deeds, and we got a cool
Mhm.
look at that.
Nice.
And I don't know about you, man, but if that was a full-fledged book, oh, oh, there we go.
I
if
had
that
to. I had to sneeze.
No, you're good, man. You're good. But yeah, if Ripazine 3, if Dirty Deeds was a full fledged book instead of just like a 15-page sample, that I maybe would have called that my favorite Ripaverse book instead of Horseman. But
Hmm.
it's only a 15-page sample. But what we got in it, I loved it. But hopefully Eric greenlights more Dirty Deeds for Caro Brown there. But there is somebody
Yeah,
over on
she was a great guest.
Yeah, you guys
On
had her a
both of
couple
our
of weeks
channels.
ago,
Yeah.
weren't you? Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, she was a blast to have over here too. I'm just trying to find the comment, but White Devil Otaku over on Rumble said, "Sorry, I'm late. Go ahead and start over." Well, we're not
All
starting
right.
over. But, well, yeah, there we go. Hey, what was it? You didn't necessarily miss too much. I guess we could just start over here. Let me go back.
Gather round, it's story.
No, just kidding. But yeah, man. So what kind of things I guess are you looking for? Because I haven't really actually been able to have conversations with people that are kind of new into comic book fandom. So this is actually a really rare opportunity for me to talk to somebody that's kind of like not necessarily like like baby level new to comic books, but like
Kinda.
but like you've read enough that you're not brand new, but you haven't read enough that like you haven't been reading for forever either though. So like what
Right.
kind of some stuff that pulls you into comics? Like what kind of is there specific genres or types of stories or something that you look for or
I guess just action. Like Spider-Man's probably my favorite all-time superhero.
attaboy?
It's got a lot of good comics. I have a small stack of them, but I don't know. I don't really even do that much reading, to be honest. I barely have time to watch anything. I mostly just like watch people like you on YouTube and play video games. Now, when I'm doing that, I'm usually streaming. So,
Fair enough, man. I took the virtual background off because I do a little show and tell. You showed Yaira, so since you mentioned Spider Man, I actually pulled out Amazing Spider Man number 98. This bag is really glossy and shiny, but it's not the worst condition, but it's not perfect condition either. But it's the Goblin's power. It's we're in this issue we're made to believe that the Green Goblin is gone, and the reason why is because this issue was part of the government's war on drugs propaganda machine, and they got Stan Lee and Marvel involved in that.
hmm,
So they did. So Stan Lee helped write a 3-issue span in Amazing Spider-Man that kind of was mentioned drugs and overdosing and trying to like be against like the whole or be I'm not saying the drugs are good, but it's like the whole anti-drug messaging
right,
and all that stuff that the government was doing back then in the
right,
70s.
right.
um, and in this particular issue, Harry has an overdose, goes to the hospital. Peter's fighting Green Goblin throughout the city. Finally, Peter gets Green Goblin. He lures him towards the hospital where Harry's being treated at for his overdose. And then Norman Osborn's persona, psyche, whatever you want to call it, ends up coming back through and locking basically the Goblin away.
Hmm.
And he's Norman Osborn, and the Goblin more or less is quote unquote gone. And so that's part of the reason why it's at least an important issue to me because Green Goblin is one of my favorite Spider-Man villains.
Yeah, he's
But
crazy.
also just the fact it's part of that, like I said, that government pushed anti-drug propaganda that was put in comics and TV and all that stuff, and to have a piece of that as history, it's kind of neat. But besides Amazing Spider-Man, if you're looking, because obviously stuff like that, unless you find it online, it's you're going to be paying money for. But if you're looking for like action stuff, now if you want superhero action stuff, what I can recommend to you is I would recommend Rogue Sun and Radiant Black, both by Image Comics, because those are two titles in there. Here's actually Radiant Black number 1 right here. They are in Image's superhero universe known as the Massiveverse, started by Kyle Higgins, who's written for DC primarily, but he's done a little bit of work for Marvel as well. But in one of them, the dude in Rogue Sun, it's a teenage kid that takes up the mantle of his father, who was a superhero in New Orleans, and it deals with like more supernatural threats and villains and type of stuff. So if you're into that kind of stuff, I would recommend Rogue Sun. And
Hmm.
if you're into some more like sci-fi type of stuff, I would recommend Radiant Black, because Radiant Black deals with like robots from outer space, alien technology, stuff like that.
All right.
But yeah, man. Let's so we're more or less, so we're gonna transition now from the comic book talk to Nagirdnal talk. But before we do, let me hit a couple more chats here.
Yeah, go
Uh,
for it.
duh, 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 duh. I know Deborah's not talking to me, but I saw it, so I'm gonna highlight it. She's you're an idiot. Probably talking to John Ambler. The two of them like going back and forth at each other.
Yeah.
Idaho Mike says Nagirdnal. That's the same color T-shirt I got. Looks good, right?
Yeah.
What's going on, Idaho Mike? Good to see you, brother. Uh, Risket says I tell Ripple once or twice a week we want more dirty deeds. Yeah, we do. It was good. It was
Yeah.
really good, man. It could be the best title if it got its own book. Risket likes monster verses. Uh, duh, 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 duh. Idaho Mike, is just me or is Comics Dad camera lagging?
A little bit.
Yeah, it may be. My camera is not the greatest camera. Um, and also I don't know. It quite possibly might be my internet connection, but I'm not 100% sure. I pay for gigabyte connection. I pay for basically gig speed internet, and it's
Yeah.
hardwired to my PC, so it shouldn't
Hmm.
be.
That's
But
crazy. I don't know
I
why
don't
I'd be
know.
doing that.
my router might just need a reset or something. I don't know.
Yeah, true.
It also could be maybe just the computer is being pushed. Who knows? But White Devil Taco said, wasn't that the first Marvel comics that they could not put the comic code approval on? Let's see. Actually, it might have been because the comic code authority stamp is actually not on the cover there. So
Hmm.
that is a good catch, White Devil Otaku. I don't know if it was the first one, but it was one of the first ones. Just because it was dealing with talking about drugs and stuff like that. So, Risket says Nagirdnal is the coolest kid on the block.
Too kind.
Well, since Nagirdnal is indeed the coolest kid on the block, brother, let's get into you, man. So you've got your own channel, you do your own stuff, and then you're also part of the GCA. I guess which one came first? Was it the GCA that came first, or was it your own channel?
Technically had my own channel, but I wasn't doing any. I was only really uploading like clips from my PlayStation to my YouTube, just for the heck of it. Just be easier to watch there. I guess I never really put much effort into my channel. But then once I met a bunch of people at the G&G meetup in Orlando, we like me and Yo Pops and Alec Baldwin's Finger, Hoodie D, Magda was there. Mo, we met briefly, but yeah, most of us were there, and then we just got to talking, and we're like, hey, we should do like a panel stream, just like G&G does, basically like Tuesday Night's Main Event. And we're like, all right, so we tried that, and it was kind of weird at first, but it's been going pretty well. And then I started like actually streaming and actually making videos for my channel. Oh, thank you, Panda. That's too kind.
There we go. Karen actually has a question. She says, "What does GCA stand for?"
I'm not at liberty to say. I'm not Mo Zamboni. I don't break the code.
Okay.
But
Well, Mo's
yeah,
gonna be on.
you guys will figure it out eventually.
Well, I was gonna say Mo's actually gonna be on in 2 weeks for the next episode of Talking Shop.
Yeah, ask
So
him. He might
yeah,
tell you.
Karen, come on back in 2 weeks for the next Talking Shop, and we'll get it out of Mo. I'll pry it out of him.
SpaceCon? No, I won't. I will not be at SpaceCon. I'm a long way from Texas.
Oh, you're reading them quicker than they come up in EV Mux.
Yeah, I have the actual YouTube chat open over here.
And Idaho Mike says it's so cool to see how much the GCA has grown. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately I wasn't there from the beginning. I was, as you know, man, I kind of popped into the whole community around maybe November, something like that. And even then, it was more. I was just like kind of hanging out in the G&G chats, and then I was hanging out in Jay's Welcome to Rebellion chat, and that was kind of it for the most part to start. So
Yep.
I wasn't there from the beginning, but just to kind of see, it's been what, a little over a year. You guys, the channel, the group as a whole, over 1,000 subscribers on
Yeah,
YouTube,
it's wild.
which is awesome. And on top of that, a bunch of you guys are all doing your own things as well. So what? I know you touched briefly on just you doing your own thing as well on your channel, but kind of what was the drive or motivation to start your channel? Was it really just kind of doing the GCA and then figuring, hey, you know what, I enjoy doing this, I should do my own thing, or was there something else to it as well? And specifically, why gaming on top of that? Kind of a two-part question.
Yeah, my channel was always for gaming, just because that's mostly what I've done throughout my entire life. Play video games, and I've had so many clips on, like, on the PlayStation you can just hit a button and save clips, and you can edit them right on the PlayStation, and then they let you upload it right to YouTube, so it's super easy. So that's basically what I was doing for a long time, and then I've been watching people like G&G and Jay Beardo, all those guys just playing games, so eventually I decided I should try doing that myself. So it's basically what it comes down to.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. Well, and then you've also, besides just doing your gaming live streams, I've noticed you've been doing some more long form recorded videos. Like you did a breakdown of a game trailer recently, I think, and then you
Yep.
also did I think you did a tutorial on I can't remember what it was, but you also dropped a tutorial recently. And was it
Yeah, that was
Stellar
just
Blade?
today.
Or was it no
Doom?
Doom the Dark Ages? Yeah.
Yeah, I literally just finished that video. Mostly did most of the editing today. Yeah, those are all clips I just uploaded from my PlayStation, and then I moved them around. And this is actually the first time that I ever. So I use a program called Wondershare Filmora,
Okay.
and this is the first time I actually like recorded voiceovers for a video. I wasn't even sure how I was going to do that yet. I thought I was going to have to like make the whole video and then talk over the whole thing, but it has like a really neat recording feature where you can just record for a few seconds at a time and move it around, put it wherever. So it's been fun making actual videos like for the trailers that you were talking about. Yeah, I broke down a couple trailers for like Stellar Blade. Was it Nikkei crossover? Was I think the first one I did, and that was pretty neat. I kind of just let the trailer run and just talked like I was on a live stream. I didn't have to do much editing at all, really. But yeah, it's been fun doing those. Yeah, making actual videos now. So.
Yeah, that's I haven't made any myself in a little bit, but when I was doing it was mostly my comics read alongs, and then I had like a monthly video that I was putting out for a bit there for a few months. But yeah, man, I'm just the same way. I don't really like do, at least not yet. I don't do scripts or anything. I just kind of shoot from the hip and
Right.
just talk. I just talk as I go through stuff. And I feel like that's, at least for me personally, that's probably the better way to do it. Because if I sit there and try to plan out what I'm going to say ahead of time, I know I'm probably, as I'm going to read it, it's either going to A, sound like I'm reading it, or B, I'm going to say, you know what, that sounds dumb. And then I have to go back and re record
Change it, yeah.
whatever the hell I want to say off the cuff anyway. So,
Yep. Yeah, I was thinking about writing a script or something for that, but then it just kind of worked out a lot better than I thought it would. So didn't
yeah.
have to yet.
Yeah, and that's what I found is honestly just whatever you're the most comfortable doing is what ends up being the best thing. Like there's a bunch of people out there that work off of scripting their videos and stuff. Obviously the big channels, but like even there's smaller channels that do it too. And I'm like, you know what? Good on you, man. My channel is small enough where I don't I don't like doing scripted stuff, but also B, the channel is still small enough that I don't necessarily have the not saying that I don't care enough to, but like it's so small that like if I try to sit down and pour, let's say 5 hours into a 10-minute video,
Right. Yeah. That's
like
basically what I mean.
there's not really a big benefit from that other than there's 5 hours of my life gone, and knowing me, probably get frustrated with the editing software and everything during the process. So
Yeah.
uh but definitely, man. And then I think you're actually coming up on a mark on your YouTube channel. You're approaching 300, I think, right now, right?
Getting close. I think I just hit 280 or 278 or something like that.
There you go. Well, hey, mods that aren't Nagirdnal, because I think you are wrenched here, Nag. Um, mods, grab Nagirdnal's YouTube link and also his Kick link out of the description. Put them in the chat for everybody, please, if you don't mind. We're gonna at least try and do our part in terms of getting you a bit closer to 300, man. I just hit it myself recently and it was really cool, but now I'm jonesing like, okay, now we got to get to 400. Like we hit the high and now we're chasing the next high. But let's try and do our best to get Nagirdnal closer to 300 on YouTube tonight, everybody.
Yeah,
And then
281. So that's cool.
there you go, man. Hey, that's awesome. And it's gonna be even more awesome when the comics crew pulls through and gets you closer.
Thank you. Shout out.
Risky goes, I'm comics that we call him Nagger for short. Yeah,
No,
I
don't
I'm
go with
gonna avoid that. Yeah. That's why I put the emphasis on the A. But so since you're a gamer first and foremost, man, what's I guess what's you've been playing Doom lately, you've been doing the Stellar Blade playing streams even before it came on PC. But what's your favorite game of all time, you think?
Fable of the Lost Chapters.
Okay.
Easily.
Okay, that was quick and simple. You had that locked, loaded,
Oh,
and ready
yeah.
to go, brother.
I have one of the cases right there. I have it over here somewhere. This is the original Xbox. This is the original Xbox version. I don't know if this is the first one that I ever had, but this is the game here, Fable of the Lost Chapters.
Ooh.
One of the best games ever made, easily. This is a game where you actually have choices. You can choose to kill every single main character if you want to, or be a complete good guy. And if you're evil throughout the game, you'll grow horns, your hands will turn like black and they'll glow red. And if you're a good guy, then you'll like have blue glowing hands, you'll have a halo over your head. It's really neat.
Yeah,
All the upgrades in the game like transform your body. It's very
I
neat.
never had Fable, unfortunately, but I did play it at a buddy's house when it like first came out, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. But by the time I had played it, I think it was already out for like a year, so I couldn't really find it anywhere at that point because it was such a big hit at the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe I just didn't look in the right places. But and then what out of what you've been playing recently? I guess what's been kind of your favorite thing to play in terms of recent games? Granted, I know there hasn't been a whole lot to choose from, but especially on the console side of things. But
Yeah. I mean, Stellar Blade and both Stellar Blade and Doom are really good. Stellar Blade's practically a year old now on consoles, but
yeah,
so for recently, I guess Doom: The Dark Ages would probably be up there with like my favorite thing recently. So I haven't really played much else beyond that. I've played a lot of older games. I've played some God of War, but I really like Doom: The Dark Ages. It's a great game. The only thing I'm disappointed with is one of the last trophy that I wanted to get was bugged out. So until they either patch it or I have to play through the entire game again and not spend any of the gold on like all of the, what is it? There's a trophy for all of the melee upgrades, all the shield upgrades, and all the shield rune upgrades. So I have to go through the whole game without buying any of those, and then like save up all the gold and rubies it takes, and then do it all at once. Apparently, that's like the one surefire way to get that trophy.
you're a trophy hunter. You're a completionist and a perfectionist, then, huh?
Yeah, if it's not too much of a pain. I'm not like trying to torture myself for platinum trophies, but if they're if the game is fun enough, then I will try to go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've ever platinumed one game ever, and that was oh, what's it called? I can't remember the name of it now. It came out on the PS4. There's there's two titles on the PS3. The guy with the electric superpowers. Why am I drawing a blank on them?
Infamous.
Yes, it was Infamous Second Son. There we go.
Oh,
Thank you.
okay.
Yeah, that is the only game I have ever platinumed ever.
I think I have 34 right now. I would have 35 if not for that freaking Doom trophy.
Yeah, I don't, outside of that, and even then I only platinum that because I really just more or less was kind of hitting, because the trophies in that were really easy, so I was just hitting the trophies as I played through the game.
Yeah, a lot
so
of
I
these
lo-
are
so I
pretty easy.
looked.
What's that?
No, I was just gonna say, so like I looked kind of one day while I was playing through it for the first time. This was what, 10 years ago at this point, I think. So I've played through it, and I just looked at some point. Oh, that is looking pretty bad.
It's
So
a
I just
little
saw
rough.
Hidden B said comics dad frozen.
Yeah, we can still hear you.
Let me do this.
But yeah, I think one of my first ones. Did I not get this one? I guess not. First Light, Infamous First Light. I don't have the platinum trophy for it, but I was always thinking about getting it. It was one of the first games I played on PS4. Your mic might be lagging now too. What are we clipping, John? Can you guys still hear me in the chat? I can't hear Comics Dad anymore. It looks like the stream is still running. Yes. Okay, you can hear me. It's not good. Our host is MIA. He should be back though. He should be able to let himself back into the room. Show's all mine. Yeah. All right. Well, welcome to Comics Dad's channel. I'm Nagirdnal, and hit that like button, share it out. Nagirdnal's takeover. Oh boy, what were we talking about? Video games? Oh yeah, video games. Oh, he's back.
Yo, you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah. Your camera looks a lot better now too.
I don't know what the hell was happening there. Like literally, all I did was refresh the page,
Yeah,
and
sometimes that's all it takes.
yeah, I don't know what was up with that, but cool. Okay, cool. We're back.
Yeah, Hidden Beast says, "Do you like? Do I like to replay games I enjoy? Yes, very much. I've replayed well, like I said, Fable, Lost Chapters. I played this game more times than I can count. God of War Saga, Devil May Cry Saga. Played through those games a number of times.
Yeah, before
So
I
yeah,
got quiet, what I was saying was, or not I, but before the stream decided to mute me. What I was saying was, there's my favorite game probably that I ever played. Um, was probably Duke Nukem on the N64.
oh nice.
Probably just the most fun game that I've ever played, and just because of the sheer ridiculousness of how over the top machismo Duke Nukem is, and then just just everything that goes into it that makes Duke Nukem such a great meme of a game. And it's great gameplay, but also people meme it too because it's just
Yeah,
that fun. And in terms of recent, I would say Expedition 33 is my
I need
favorite
to get
recent
on
game.
that. Yeah, everybody talks up that game.
Dude, it is all the hype and the talking up, it's justified. I
Nice.
was doing it on the stream here, and then I kind of took a break from doing game streams for a few weeks, but I was like, I couldn't even wait to start game streaming again, so I just went and I kept playing it anyway, and I just finished it, and it was like, dude, it was satisfying as hell. It was the most satisfying game that I have played probably since 2018 God of War. And then before that, before
Yeah,
God of
that game was
War, yeah, oh yeah, God of War was great. But before God of War, the most satisfying game I had played before God of War was probably Mass Effect 3. And I know Mass Effect 3 has people have their mixed feelings on it, especially with the endings. Me personally, I felt it was a great game. I thought it was a fantastic game. So that's just me though. But
I still
let
haven't played Mass Effect, any of them.
oh dude. The I will say the first one, the mechanics are slightly different than the second and the third because they did kind of evolve and change the game to kind of fit what they were doing a little bit better between one and two, and then they just continued it with three.
Hmm.
So Mass Effect 1 is my least favorite in the trilogy because I don't count Andromeda. Andromeda doesn't exist in my mind.
Yeah, I heard that one's not very good.
Oh, so awful! It was the beginning of the downfall of BioWare.
Mm.
From what I can remember, because uh they had done Dragon Age Origins, or not Origins, Dragon Age Inquisition before they did Andromeda, Mass Effect Andromeda. So BioWare was still on the ball when they did Inquisition, and then for whatever reason the team that did Mass Effect Andromeda just no clue. And that was kind of the beginning of the end for BioWare. Um but yeah, man, the Mass Effect, if you're gonna play Mass Effect, I would say play one if you have the time for it. But if not, I would just say jump right into two because you'll get a brief summary at the beginning of two in terms of what happens in one. You'll get a little bit of explanation. They did a really good job of well, if you didn't have, especially this was in the days where if you had a save file from one, the choices
Yeah.
that you made in one would then transition over to two and over to
Oh, that's
three
cool.
and likewise. But if you didn't have a save file for Mass Effect 1, they kind of go over real pretty decently in the first like hour of the game, just kind of what happened in the first Mass Effect. So if
Hmm.
you don't have time to go through the first one, jump into the second one. It's a good jumping off
I
point.
would have to make time. I don't like starting games in the middle of the series. Not my thing.
Fair enough. Fair
If I
enough.
know that there's a first game, I usually go back and play it.
Tomby, what's going on, brother? Swinging
Yo,
by to drop a
Tommy.
like.
Shout
Uh,
out.
he says, woke for an old man's wee wee win win. Didn't pee myself. Gotta come say hello. Yeah, it's late over there for him. But I appreciate you not weeing yourself and then coming over and say hi, Tommy. um, but I got a couple of topics here that we can talk about and some fun stuff. Let's get into some more chats first, though. I have a couple starred here, actually. Uh, White Devil Otaku said Fable 2 was the GOAT.
Wrong.
Fair enough. you wanted to do you want to share what White Devil Otaku in the chat why White Devil Otaku is wrong?
Yeah, just everything about the first game's better. I mean,
Fair enough. Short, sweet, and to the point. I like it. Idaho Mike, while he was still here, he said, I find it more organized by scripting my videos, but I do some ad lib
Ad-lib,
stuff as
yeah.
well. Yeah, yeah. It's just not my thing. Yeah, at least not yet. If I know the video is gonna get like 3, 4, 5, 600 views on it, and it's something that I don't normally like. If it's not something that I could just openly share my thoughts on, and it's something that I feel I need to compose my thoughts on, then I'll put a script. But for the most part, it's just scripting is just not for me. Deborah Perkins said, "I wonder why Comics Dad didn't say who the guests next week are. I don't blame him." Okay, so to clarify that, so there is no Talkin' Shop next week because Talkin' Shop is a bi-weekly show, but next week there is the Comics Couple Cafe, so which is the show where myself and my wife, Queen Comics Wife, we hang out, we talk with the chat, talk about just topics, current events, stuff like that. Next week on Comics Couple Cafe, I think it's going to be on Comics Couple Cafe. It's either going to be on Comics Couple Cafe next Thursday, or it's going to be on Queen Comics Wife's channel next either Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't remember which day. But John Ambler and Deborah Perkins, the mainstay 1A, 1B, whatever, however you want to categorize them, mods for both my channel and for Queen Comics Wife's channel. And also they've become very close friends of ours as well. They're going to be joining us on a stream next week just to kind of show them a little love and appreciation. They've been our two of our biggest supporters over here as well as a lot of other people. But they expressed some interest in like, oh, it'd be cool to maybe get on camera one day. So Queen Comics Wife and I talked about it, and we're like, you know what? Yeah, it would be cool. So let's get you guys on the stream. So that's kind of what Deborah's referencing. So keep an eye out next week, guys, if you want to come and see John and Deborah talk a bunch of BS with me and Queen Comics Wife and you guys in the chat. And the risk of it was like, boy, I can't wait for next week's surprise guests. Yeah. But let me do that. Let's go on over to here. Transition. Foosh. Oh, I have to reset up the screen share because I refreshed the stream. Here it is. All right.
And
So
Tomby
since we
said
were
he's
talking
going back to sleep, so good night, Tomby. Thank you.
Good night, Tomby. Thank you for stopping by, brother. I appreciate it, man. Scroll all the way back down. There we go. Karen said, "I'll watch that." Karen, so that's going to be next week, Karen. If you obviously, if you subscribe to the channel, either mine and also Queen Comics Wife's channels, if you subscribe to either one of those, we'll post on there. But also, Karen, if you follow me on X at ComicsDad, I always post on X whenever we're doing a stream. So just keep an eye out on either the YouTube side or on the X side, and you'll see what day next week. But it's going to be next week. But yeah. So since we were talking games, man, and you're a gamer, and I'm Comics Dad, we're talking comics as well. So I know this was kind of announced. This was announced like 2 weeks ago. But this is the first time I'm getting a chance to talk about it with somebody. So there was announced a new 4v4 Marvel fighting game, Marvel Talkin. Have you seen about this, or have you looked into this at all?
Yeah, they debuted it at one of the Summer Games Fest things that we were watching.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for it. It looks actually really good.
Yeah, I like the art. I like the art style. I mean, the art style kind of reminds me of Marvel Rivals art style a bit. But it's just and oh, it's the arc system. Okay, I didn't realize that. So Atlas isn't making this, are they?
I haven't really looked too much into it, to be honest.
No, neither have I. Because I like to, especially when I'm going to be talking about like new game trailers and stuff. I like to be able to talk about it fresh and raw with people. Like
Right.
It looks cool. It looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Kind of like honestly, it almost kind of reminds me of like a modern day Street Fighter, except it's got that Marvel versus Capcom multi-team feel to it.
Yeah, the combat looks intense.
It's
I don't play too many fighters really. There's a few, but they're mostly 3D fighters. Like what is it? DOA. They're alive.
okay.
And
Gotcha.
Soul Calibur. Those are more up my sleeve. This is This looks great though. I probably will check this out.
Yeah, this looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, if are you a fan of the Dragon Ball franchise?
Yeah, big
So,
time.
yeah, have you ever played Fighters?
I played Fighter Z,
Yeah.
the first one. Or no, wait, what is it?
Or are you talking about Xenoverse, maybe?
Yeah, Xenoverse. Yeah, I have played Xenoverse, and I
Gotcha.
played Dragon Ball Kakarot.
Okay. Yeah, the Xenoverse franchise was fun. Kakarot I haven't played yet. But the
Those are
reason why I
great.
brought up the Dragon Ball franchise is because the Dragon Ball franchise, about, I think, 7 years ago, something like that, they released a 3v3 kind of 2D, like 3D, 2D fighter like this,
Mm-hmm.
called Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Yeah,
Or Fighters, I don't
yeah,
know. But that was also cool, and it looks like that this game took a little bit of inspiration from that. Obviously, Marvel versus Capcom is the big inspiration, but it looks like they took some inspiration from that too, because you got like the scene transitions mid combat, and
yeah.
Fighters did that. So, and I loved Fighters. So the only downside to this is that it's coming 2026.
Yeah, that'll be a minute. But
But yeah,
that's
man,
something
this
to look forward
is
to.
it is, and especially in a day and age where we don't have a lot of good things gaming wise to look forward to. Are you looking forward to where was it? I had it bookmarked here. Uh, yeah, are you looking forward to this Borderlands?
Borderlands? No, not at all. I've only ever played the first Borderlands. I hear the second one is the best one, but I never got into it. But I guess it's been downhill from there anyway. So kind
Yeah,
of glad.
I haven't been the big Borderlands fan. I got in on Borderlands 2. I mean, and it was fun. It wasn't anything that I would have written home about. And then eventually I got Borderlands 3 because I think it was on sale for like $20 at one point. But it's just the rehashed same thing over and over, at least trust from my play experience. But Borderlands 4 was originally supposed to be released at $80. They've now dropped it, back down to 70, even though I'm still not a fan of the $70 price tag. But have you seen that they're doing yeah, they're selling you the game at $70 instead of 80. And then there is stuff locked in the game code that unless you buy the like deluxe or ultimate deluxe editions, which are $100 and $130, you don't even get the full game content.
Yeah, yeah, I have seen that. And I've also seen that there's like a special edition, something else that's $130, and it doesn't even come with the game. It's just like a
Yes.
whole bunch of extra stuff for that much money. Now I paid about $200 for Doom: The Dark Ages with all of the goodies involved included, and it also paid for the DLC, which isn't even out yet. So I would say that's a good deal, $200. Whereas this, if you want everything, you need to pay upwards of like $300-400, which is insane.
Yeah, I think the collector's edition, which shocker doesn't even include the damn game, is I think I saw it was $150.
That's crazy.
So if you want the collector's edition alone without the game, you got to spend 150. Then if you want the game without all of the game content, you got to spend 70. Then if you want all the game content, you got to spend another 130. So what's that? $280, almost $300 you're dropping
Yeah,
just for Borderlands and all of its
before
special
tax.
little
Yeah,
bells and whistles. Yeah, yeah,
that's
before
wild.
tax.
Yeah,
It's nonsense, and these big game developers wonder why people are not buying their games. Like, I don't know about you, I haven't, besides Doom: The Dark Ages, I haven't bought a AAA game in a long time.
yeah, same here. Well, yeah, I guess Stellar Blade's not really a AAA game. It looks like one, but I don't. Technically, it wouldn't be one. I don't think.
No, it's. I mean, I think it's mostly dependent on, because I've never truly understood what they define as AAA versus AA. I think it's the size of the development team or the size of the studio. Maybe I don't think it's
Something
budget.
like that.
It
Yeah,
might
I'm
be
not sure.
budget, but even then, yeah, if it was budget, Stellar Blade and Expedition 33 both definitely AA games. Although Stellar Blade was sold at a full retail price of 70 when it came
Hmm.
out,
Yeah,
so it may be considered borderline AAA. I don't know, but Expedition 33 sold at $45 initially on Steam, and then $50 when it launched everywhere.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and you're getting a high quality game that should be the quality of AAA games that we get. So they can be done. It can be done for cheaper. Game corporations just don't want to.
Right.
Um, yeah, and it's just more, and this is kind of the problem too, because somebody here says, I guess, quote unquote, real fans, because what was the dude, is he the director or the for Borderlands 4, the creative director or something like that was going out saying, well, it's $80, and if you're a real fan you'll buy it.
I can't remember who said that, but I believe it. And
Yeah, he
obviously
was
not a smart thing to say.
No, and he was, I can't remember his title, but he's higher up on there. He's like one of the head decision makers for the Borderlands franchise. But he said that he was like, yeah, real fans will just shell out the $80 to buy the game anyway. So this guy says, I guess, quote, real fans went out and pre-ordered Borderlands 4, the most expensive version at that, so the $130 version, and it made it the number one best-selling pre-order on the PlayStation Store. Right here. I saw that earlier today,
Wow.
and it blew my mind. And this is the
Number
reason.
one pre-order.
Yeah, and this is the reason why we have the games industry the way it is.
Yeah.
Because
the whales.
yeah, people are going out, they're buying the most expensive editions of everything before even knowing if it's going to be good. Pre-orders served a purpose once upon a time, a long time ago, back in the days of like Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3.
Yeah,
Pre-orders
well
don't serve a purpose anymore. there's no point in doing pre-orders. Game developers and studios, they don't have the weight that their name carries anymore, so nobody gets excited and wants to pre-order stuff for the most part, or at least they shouldn't, because you're putting money up front that more times than not you can't get refunded.
Yeah,
isn't even going to be worth the money you're paying.
And most of the times retailers already have all the copies sent to them anyway. You can get a pre-order edition just by going to the store on like day one or even day two.
Yeah,
like games don't sell out like they used to either.
No, it's nonsense. Expedition 33's I think they called it the Monolith Edition. That actually sold like hotcakes.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah,
and that was, I want to say the game came with that too, and it was, I think, like $140. I think, this is all purely off the top of my head, but yeah, for something like that though, yeah, I'll go pay money for that because I played the game, and the game is exactly what I want in a game, and it's the quality that we want as people that are now adults with disposable income and functioning finances to an extent. Yeah. They're not just kids going around getting summer jobs or asking our parents for games for Christmas or our birthdays or whatever. Right. Like we as a whole, as a collective and a consciousness, need to be more mindful of where we're putting our money in the games industry, and places and games like Stellar Blade, Expedition 33, like that's where we need to be putting our money, not Call of Duty and Borderlands 4, Call of Duty 27 or whatever the hell is coming up, and things like that. It's not needed. But you are my gaming expert. You are the gaming expert here between the two of us, though. Have you heard? What can you tell me about the whole marathon thing that's been going on? I know Bungie has this game in development. I know there was a situation with they were accused of stealing art from someone to use as what's the word I'm looking for? But they were using art just for in the game that was they didn't have the permission to use and everything. Well, what have you heard about this whole marathon debacle? Because apparently it's getting delayed now.
Yeah, I honestly don't know as much as I should know, being on a channel that talks about gaming most of the time. Although yesterday we talked about food the whole time, so that doesn't help either.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
well, we can talk food too, man. Queen Comics Life, if you can't tell, she feeds me well, so we can talk food all night.
Yeah, I'm really not all that caught up on the marathon thing. I keep hearing about it, and that it's they keep making poor decisions, but I don't know all the details. I'm sorry.
No, you're good, man. It just, but they've delayed it though with all the. This is just, I guess, some stuff on what they want to do in terms of why they're delaying it. But yeah, it's just they're they're delaying it because I guess there's a lot more stolen art in there than than what they initially thought. I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know.
wild.
Since you have been since you were playing Stellar Blade like from Go and you've been covering Stellar Blade a lot, have you seen have you seen the PC Gamer? These game journos are basically calling it smut. Gooner Game of the Year. Stellar Blade's mods are 41% smut, and they're basically just trying to crap all over Stellar Blade.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. The game should have been Game of the Year last year for sure. It wasn't even nominated as much as it should have been, just because they don't like seeing attractive women in games.
Or good quality games, because Black Myth Wukong I think didn't get a nod either.
Yeah, yeah, it only had a couple nominations from what I remember.
Yeah.
A lot of good games came out last year that kind of got snubbed by stuff like Balatro, some card game that apparently really addicting. But come on, when you're putting it up against something like Stellar Blade,
Like
it's
an
not
actual
fair.
video game.
Yeah,
Not just solitaire that I can play on my computer.
yeah.
This line of the title actually really gets me. Ensuring gamers will never see the light of heaven. Meanwhile, I guarantee you this dude, Joshua Woldens, I guarantee you this dude is like an alphabet warrior, friendly warrior that probably is anti-American, is anti-Christianity.
Right,
I don't
yeah.
know. I don't know. I'm just pure conjecture and speculation.
Well,
But
if you
based
say
on
something like that, then you don't know how Christianity works or
yeah,
how Christ works in general. Like,
and he's a modern day gaming journalist because he works
right.
for PC Gamer, so I can only assume that he is basically a poor man's Alyssa Mercante, so who is a godless heathen herself.
He's almost definitely a hypocrite and loves looking at all these mods that have no clothing. He's just writing an article trying to shame people for something that he's ashamed of himself.
Yeah,
They all do it.
or because it's not what fanfic of what's that game that crashed and burned that got all that government
Oh,
funding.
Concord?
Concord, yeah, because it's not Concord fanfic, and that's probably why he's
Right.
all upset.
Yeah,
then
there's not enough mods where you turn Eve into a man or something.
well, and what was it? It was, I think, Hypnotic posted this. Yeah, it was Hypnotic that posted this, and I bookmarked it because this same dude, what is it? Yeah, this same dude that wrote this article with this ridiculous headline wrote
Yeah.
this article back in October. Find love and abandon God with this $20,000 fully customizable Baldur's Gate 3 Asterian sex doll.
Yeah. See, exactly. He's a hypocrite.
Yeah, it's the same dude. It's okay.
Which website is
if
this
he's
from?
PC Gamer.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah, so it's the same dude that wrote the same two articles. Being a hypocrite, like you said, and then also it's just
You can tell he doesn't even capitalize God, so right, that tells you everything you need to know right there.
oh yeah. Well, and then on top of that, it's Asterion is a sexually ambiguous character in Baldur's Gate 3. Now, granted, Baldur's Gate 3 was fun. I enjoyed it. It was very well made. I think there were maybe a little too many romance options in there, for my opinion, especially with the famous scene with the druid.
The bear, yeah.
Yeah, the bear. But but if people like it, okay, cool. But yeah, like these games that are a little too ambiguous with sexuality and whatnot, they'll go for this all day, every day, because it's also a Western developer. Not an American developer, but it was a Western developer, as opposed to an Eastern developer that's just gonna, heterosexual men are our target audience. We know who we want to promote to, because it's not all inclusive, and it's beautiful
wild.
women instead of diverse women.
Hmm.
They're gonna do everything they can to crap all over it, and I for
That's
one, am
so
just sick and
crazy.
tired of it. Let's see, and then apparently they gave it a 68 on their review, which is nonsense.
Out of 100, I assume. Yeah.
This is just a good meme. After 37
I did
years,
see that.
Arnold Schwarzenegger returns to face the Predator.
Oh man, they did not like what he was saying on there.
No, they did not. Well, and my thing on that was, for those of you who don't know, Arnold Schwarzenegger was on the View the other day, and he was basically saying, like, illegal immigrants need to not be illegal immigrants.
Yeah.
More or less is what he said.
Immigrants need to be legal, basically.
Yeah, they got to be legal. They got to do it the right way, and they have to be respectful of the country. And the crones on The View were trying to, especially Joy, what was it, Joy Behar, was trying to shut him the hell up, but she would not let her, or he would not let her find breathing room to get in.
Right. They just
And
kept talking.
and the crowd was actually enjoying what he had to say. They actually appreciated what he had to say, which is surprising because it's The View, and their audience is a bunch of middle-aged liberal white women.
Right. Well, they're so used to just clapping every time anybody says something on the show. They probably weren't even listening.
Or,
Yeah.
or.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a good meme from that though. Whoopi looks like like an aging lesbian alien predator
Predator,
for
yeah.
sure. What else do we got here? Oh, yeah, more gaming stuff and also somewhat political.
Is this Roblox?
Yeah, apparently there were anti-ICE protests happening in Roblox over
Yeah,
the
I think
weekend.
Alyssa Mercante retweeted something like that. She was like, I'm at an anti-ICE protest in...
Yeah, I got that right here.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, she was like literally the only one, or she was like her and one other person in that Roblox
small
server.
anti-ICE protest on Roblox.
Like, it's so ridiculous because these protests aren't even protests, and on top of that, people are caring less and less as the days go by. So they're like,
Mhm.
oh well, let's go take to a children's game server and go protest the police there.
Yeah, I don't even know how many children are on there anymore. It's like such a weird game. I've never played it once, but I've never really heard anything good about it. There's always something cringy happening on Roblox.
My thing is, I'm curious if the people that are actually playing as the police.
As the ICE people.
Yeah, like, are they people that went there to troll these people, or were they just part of the organization of
They
setting it all up
actually-
and everything?
Yeah,
Like,
they actually support.
yeah, and they
ICE.
were just stand-ins, and they just logged into an account to just stand there and show that it was a protest. But I don't know. I like to think that it was people going in and trolling. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I hope so. There's got to be some trolls on there.
It's got to be. It's just ridiculous, though. And I guess since we're talking about online trolls, JD Vance, our wonderful vice president, created a Blue Sky account, and the platform deplatformed him almost immediately.
Damn.
Now, this I flagged this morning before I found out more about it. So apparently, Blue Sky even acknowledged that their system or their algorithm initially flagged it as a spam account, as a fake account, and then so once they realized it was actually him, they reinstated it. But then, what was it? Oh, here it is, Grums. Yeah. It's the fastest blocked user on Blue Sky at over 30,000 blocks.
Damn.
So this is the breakdown of it from yesterday. He was banned in minutes, was soon unbanned and verified. 15,000 people blocked him, and it kept it going. And it's all Blue Sky was talking about all day yesterday. The song is lovely. Even George Takei had to mention him. But
nice.
And these are the people that are making video games. These are the people that have been invading our entertainment and our pop culture.
Yep.
And they can't handle one man being on their special little platform.
Yeah, they're weak.
It's just, yeah, man. It just is what it is. But oh yeah, here we go. I made sure, especially because I was having you on today, I made sure I pulled up several different gaming topics. But yeah, so Ghost of Yote devs know, quote, how ignorant we were about Japanese culture. But with Ghosts of Tsushima, they've had cultural advisors to help deliver a respectful representation of Japan. Now, I don't know what that means exactly. If they had a cultural advisor for Ghost of Tsushima, I guess that cultural advisor knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. If they did, then they did a good job, but I don't believe they did because
I mean, I'm sure they worked with some Japanese people.
Yeah,
they're mostly a American studio, but
yeah, like actual historians maybe, but not like that dude that Ubisoft went and worked with.
Right, yeah. I don't know. For this upcoming game though, I mean, it's hard to tell how woke it'll be. I mean, I'm not saying you can't have women in games and stuff, but I don't know. It's kind of a almost like a bait and switch, I guess. It's like we
Yeah.
played this whole game as Jin Sakai, and now we get a sequel, and obviously you want to continue his story, and it's just a complete divergence. It's a woman now that's an ex samurai or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
They
know
have
too
to
much.
do a really good job on the story to make this game good.
Yeah, we're gonna. I definitely need to know more about it as it gets closer to release.
Right.
But because of how good of a job they did with Ghost of Tsushima, I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt for now.
Yeah.
But the little bit that we have been learning about it, things are not pointing in the right direction, in my opinion.
Right.
Especially an article, especially a headline like this, because specifically the dude that wrote this, Dustin Bailey. This was from back in May. So considering he had to put in the title of his article, that it had to mention a cultural advisor, when there, as far as I can remember, there was no mention of like, they didn't at least like put in the media and then the advertising and marketing and coverage of this that they had a cultural advisor for Ghost of Tsushima. So the fact that they're mentioning one for this makes me think, well, they're gonna pull an Assassin's Creed Shadows probably.
Yeah, I'm reading what it says under the picture, and I'm not sure who
Oh
wrote
yeah,
that, but
apparently respecting Japanese culture, casting a self-identified gender fluid. Oh yeah, that was
yeah,
probably somebody just added something on that. I hate Western devs so much; it's unreal.
right.
Yeah, but yeah, that was just somebody adding something to it. But hail the lore. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, let's pop on back over, and I got a couple more things here, but the chat's been going off, so let's see what the chat's been talking about a little bit. Risk It goes, what's the view? You know damn well what that is. I know you watch it every day, Risk It. Oh, he goes, that was rhetorical. I don't care. Don't lie. I know you watch it, Risk It. John said, good to see the Predator get his own talk show. Too bad it sucks. Hey, Mash, what's going on, Mash? How are you, man? Says, if you're too lazy to protest in real life, waste your time protesting on Roblox.
Yeah.
Is there a nuclear bomb mod for the game?
Sheesh.
Damn, John.
Should be.
Yeah, right.
You get a lot of anime out of that.
Karen M says, I don't get it seriously. Why protest about ice? Somebody please mansplain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old. Okay. Because I do have a 5-year-old, so I'm well qualified for this. So, Karen, there are police officers that go and take people out of the United States of America that didn't come here the right way, and they're here when they don't belong here. People get upset by that because they want people to work for as little as possible and to be able to vote for people that we wouldn't want to be mayor or governor or president, but they want to be able to get these people that don't belong here to vote the way that they want them to vote. And so, and they're doing it all under the guise of human rights and stuff like that. So there are people that will listen to anything these higher up people say, called sheep. And all their sheep have been going out and standing in streets and having some violent encounters with police officers and ICE agents, at detention centers and just in the middle of sanctuary cities like LA and New York and stuff like that. Because, and also they're being paid by probably George Soros affiliated companies and organizations as well. But basically, it's they want globalism and they want to destabilize the American populace and the American economy even more. Is more or less what it boils down to. But these people that are out here in the streets actually doing it, they're just getting, most of them are just getting paid to do it. They don't really care.
Yeah, that's wild. There was one guy that Drunk 3PO was watching the other day, and he was literally just going around interviewing random people, and then he would have somebody come up to him and try to stop him from talking to people. Like, you could tell these people are paid,
Oh yeah, dude, I see it all the
and
time.
then you ask them who's paying you, and they'll obviously deflect and say, "Oh, nobody."
Yep.
But you can find them at like various, like they're at every single protest, and they're always doing the same thing.
Yep. And in all the major cities.
And all
Philly, New York,
yeah,
Chicago.
you don't do
uh,
that for free.
No.
Nobody even has the money to just go around. I mean, maybe not nobody, but come on, these are like
These are
obviously
connected
paid.
people that are
Yeah.
putting together these things.
Yeah.
Risk it goes. John goes, I would never protest ice. I love my drinks cold. Let's go on down a little bit. Josh, everybody behave. Comic Dad's looking at chat now. Crap, Dad's looking over here. Yeah. So somebody needs to go tell my son Comics Division to get your old dad on the stream one day. I think it's more or less risky. I got mountains out my front and back door. Okay. Oh, the view, because of the view. Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's a good one. And then Carrie goes, "Oh, yeah. Immigration Customs Enforcement. Oh, okay. I didn't know if you were
Yeah.
looking for the actual. I didn't realize you were looking for the actual definition of ICE, Karen. My bad. Hey, Queen Comics Wife is here. Says, isn't
Hey,
it
you know
messed up
her.
that I have been up since 6 a.m. and I can't sleep in my own bed because he's using my bedroom? We're almost done, Queen Comics Wife.
Yeah, go sub to Queen Comics Wife.
Yeah, go sub and follow Queen Comics Wife for sure. I guess kind of I guess the last couple of things we'll talk about then here is we won't talk more politics. We'll talk a couple of entertainment points here then real quick. Here we go. Tom B fixed the article from PC Gamer, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Gooner what is it? Oh no, he there it is. Here we go. Or no, for this was for Borderlands. Retards are probably going to spend $130 on deluxe editions. This will be a complete clusterfuck, and you may as well piss money up a wall.
Yeah, I saw that. Very true.
Yeah. But all right, I'm just getting rid of stuff as it comes across. So Spider-Man 90, the animated series from the 90s, is getting a 4-issue series that's actually going to supposedly resolve the cliffhanger from the animated series that we were left on.
Oh wow.
So I know you were saying you like Spider-Man. Have you ever seen the Spider-Man animated series?
I've seen a few episodes. I didn't watch it like all the way through or anything. I remember the one episode specifically where like all the other Spider-Men were there, and then one of them turned into an actual man spider.
Okay.
That was pretty crazy. I had like a toy of him. But
yeah, Peter turned into Man Spider at one point.
Yeah,
and then Craven
they were
was
like
hunting
all
him
in the
down.
same room. There was like a normal Peter Parker. There was one with like 6 arms, and then at some point during the episode, he like turned into a full-blown spider. It was crazy. I got to go back and watch that for sure.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think the only place to watch it if you don't have it on VHS or DVD is going to be Disney Plus.
Ah, crap.
Yeah. I mean, I am going to attempt to find it on DVD somewhere. It's going to be very hard.
I bet.
But we actually canceled our Disney Plus. I may
Nice.
just because this doesn't come out, I think, until September. It's going to be a 4-issue series that basically cleans up and finishes off the story from the animated series from the 90s. And it's got some comic book legends working on it, dudes that have been in the industry since like the 70s. So
that's good.
I'm actually looking forward to that. It should be pretty good. This is the base cover. It's got that 90s animated series art style to it.
Mm-hmm.
So right then and there, that I'll at very least buy the first issue to read it, because a cover kind of sells the book, especially if you don't know anything about it.
Yeah, sure.
So Ironheart, man,
Mm-hmm.
what are your thoughts on Ironheart, especially because they've announced that they're releasing all 6 episodes next week and the week after?
I thought it was a movie.
No, it's a Disney Plus series. It's a limited series. And they are so they know that they have screwed up so badly that they're dropping all 6 episodes in 2 weeks.
That's wild. So it's only it's a 6 episode series and that's it.
Yes.
Why do they keep doing this? It's so weird.
Because Kevin Feige is a complete idiot.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that they took a name from an actual Japanese pornography film is wild to begin with. Is like,
wait, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, Ironheart is a Japanese porno.
Is it really?
It's a knockoff of Iron Man, but yeah, it's been it's like well known. It's been that way for like
I had no
years.
idea, man. Because I
Yeah, I
know
guess they're
Ironheart
banking
came
on
out.
people not knowing, but
Yeah, because Riri Williams was a thing in the comics. I think about a decade ago. I think around somewhere between 2015 and 2017
I have
was when we
no idea
got our
when this
first
fucking is.
appearance of Riri Williams. I think.
Yeah,
So
these people just don't do research. I guess when they do, like, it would be so funny if Japan just sued them, but that studio probably doesn't even exist anymore. I don't know.
probably
I've personally
not.
never seen the movie. I knew about it. Somebody in chat probably said something.
Got I saw what you did there. You got to cover yourself. You've never personally seen it.
Like, I'm not saying I wouldn't like to, but let's see. Ironheart is a Japanese brand. No, that's different. Let me look up.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we know what Nagirdnal does researching in his spare time.
I'm researching in real time.
Well,
I
he's
don't know
researching in
anything.
his real time, but considering you knew about it,
Yeah, I mean, look,
hey, sassy.
I wish I could say that I discovered it on my own on HBO back in the day, but unfortunately, not the
Sassy Soba,
case.
aka Cassie Soba.
Hey, Sassy
What's going
Cassie.
on? Good to see you.
And Jose Taco, I think I saw him up in here somewhere.
Yeah, Jose was here a bit earlier too. He said, "Buy the Blu-rays of Spectacular Spider-Man." Now, see, everybody lauds Spectacular. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people laud Spectacular Spider-Man as the best animated series for Spider-Man. I disagree. The '90s animated series was the best one, but that's just my opinion. Hidden Beat says, "Queen Comics Life, slap him out of the way." He's so damn loud I wouldn't be able to sleep anyway. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, so just last couple of things. Actually, no, just last thing here, man. I'm sure you guys have been talking here and there about Superman over on GCA. I catch the show when I can here and there. But currently, the as of today tracking and estimated projections for Superman opening in the box office next month. It looks like they're estimating between $90 million and $125 million domestically at the box office on opening weekend in July.
Is that a
That number,
lot?
no, considering
Okay.
they were the previous estimate, I think, was between like 175 and 250, I think. And before
Yeah,
that, they were guessing like almost 300 million for an opening weekend.
I think it looks worse every time they release something for it. And I
Yeah,
personally didn't like it since that first original teaser trailer. It never really sparked my interest. And then when I first saw the first trailer, I was like, "There's too much going on. There's too many characters." And then they've just kept releasing more and more stuff, and it's not getting any more interesting.
and that's I think kind of showing in these projected box offices
Yeah,
is because the number keeps dropping,
yeah.
and I think everybody's just kind of had enough of the different stories that we're getting out of James Gunn himself. And James Gunn has been we've seen more of James Gunn in advertising, or as much of James Gunn
Mm-hmm.
in advertising as we have of the actual friggin' movie. So
Right.
I think everybody's just kind of sick and tired of him. But are you planning on seeing this by any chance?
No.
Well, there you go. That's all. That's all you need to know right there. But let's roll through the chat one more time, and then we will do some outros.
Sounds good.
Because Queen Comic's wife, she has had a long day, and I would love for her to be able to rest. John Hart says Ironheart. I prefer Wrinkleheart. Comic said you get the couch making me suffer. I'm sorry. Riskit says, "All right, everyone, mom's kicking us out. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here." Superman's James Gunn. Yeah. Instead of James Gunn's Superman's
Right.
James Gunn. Exactly. But yeah, we will. I don't think there's anything else really. Yeah, that's everything. So I guess, Nagirdnal, what you got going on, brother? Tell everybody what you got going on and where they can find you and all that good stuff.
Well, I have my own channel, Nagirdnal, on YouTube and Kick. I stream on Kick, but I also do videos and stuff on YouTube. Aside from that, I'm also on Alec Baldwin's Fingers channel Monday and Wednesday, and the GCA on Wednesdays. Other than that, I will be on Project Eggroll this Saturday, which is
Will
pretty
you?
cool. Yeah, it's
Nice.
pretty cool. Yeah, all of my links are on my link tree, so I'll drop that in chat. Got Alec Baldwin's finger and the
Yeah,
GCA and
I
all of
saw
that.
you do this, by the way. What did I tell you, man?
I was doing it the whole
stop.
time.
I know. Stop modding for 2 seconds.
I can't.
Mod
I'm
extraordinaire.
addicted.
That's the thing I wanted to talk
Where's
about.
my wrench?
Yeah, that's the thing I want to talk about. How the hell were you a mod in like 18 different friggin' channels?
I don't know. I just like helping people. I think one of the first places I got modded was Weebs and Waifus, like a couple of years ago or something, and then I don't know. I just got a taste for it, and I just like helping people. If I can help drop links,
Fair
my
enough, man.
pleasure.
I respect it, brother. You are a quality man and a quality human being, dude. So the
Well,
fact
thank
that you
you.
like helping people is no surprise to me. But yeah, Queen Comics Life said I won't be streaming Saturday. Comics Dad, it's going to be a long day for us. Yeah, Queen Comics Life and we will not be streaming this weekend pretty much at all. I think. Just Saturday, our daughter has her first dance recital, and then tomorrow evening we are actually going to be at the dress rehearsal for that. So if I do stream it all tomorrow, guys, I will maybe do just the bullshit game stream during the day. If that, if not, I won't see you guys until Sunday probably. But you guys know where to find Nagirdnal, his link tree, GCA, Nagirdnal channel, YouTube, Kick. Follow him on X. Follow the
I am on
GCA
X.
as well. All that good stuff. Sassy says you're my mod too.
That's right.
uh,
I got to be pushing 40 by now.
yeah, close to it. What somebody said. In Russia, Alec Baldwin's finger is on you. And then, of course, we're getting who the hell is Alec Baldwin's finger? I don't have that queued up. I wish I had that clip queued up.
I have no idea who he is.
He don't miss. That's all I know about him.
Yeah.
All I've got for clips is I just got this.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.
That is a great clip.
But everybody, chat, thank you so much for hanging out with myself and Nagirdnal tonight. Nagirdnal, brother, thank you so much for coming on and hanging out, man. I would definitely love to have you back at some point, whether it's for another coffee shop or maybe just whether we game together or something, dude. But I'd definitely love to do some more stuff with you, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're more than welcome on back on the channel in any capacity, not just your modding capacity. Although that's your bread and butter, it seems.
That sure is.
But everybody, thank you all so much for being here tonight. Please remember to like the stream, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Also over on Rumble, please like the stream there. Follow over on Rumble as well. Pinned in the chat, by the way. If you don't have Rumble and you want to support the channel, you can go create a Rumble account. They're free to make. If you use that link pinned in the chat on the YouTube side, really all that does is just show Rumble that I was the one that kind of that you guys signed up for a Rumble account through or for or whatever. Doesn't cost you guys anything. I don't even know if it does anything for me. I think it's more just maybe just like a pat on my back probably for Rumble if anything. But if you don't have a Rumble account and you want to, you could use that link to do so. Follow the channel over there. And then Snooty Mims over on Rumble in the chat said LOL earlier. So Snooty Mims, if you're still here, I apologize. I did not see that earlier. But thank you for being here. And everybody, as usual, thank you for being here. And don't forget to be good to yourselves, be good to each other, support your local comic shops, support independent comic creators, and support small creators like myself, like Nagirdnal here, like Queen Comics Wife, and so many other friends of the channel. But until maybe tomorrow, if not tomorrow, until next week, everybody, I appreciate you all, and you have yourselves a wonderful night. This is Comics Dad and Nagirdnal signing off.
So tune in, geek out, it's all in good fun. Talking shop with Comics Dad, everyone. Let's keep the conversation lively and bright. See you next time for more insight. Welcome to Talkin' Shop, where we never stop discussing heroes, villains, every plot twist we've got, from ink to screen and all in between. With comics, dad, and friends, it's the scene.